Many of us have donated to Orphan Grain Train and helped load up a trailer full of stuff for Orphan Grain Train, but I don't know how many of us have actually seen where our stuff goes and how it's sorted and how it's packaged. So today we're going to see what it's like to go through all this stuff after the trailer gets back.
When raw material come in, people bring us, donate us stuff. It comes into here. This is our bunker room. This is all stuff that still needs to be sorted. Right now, this is the lowest we've been for some time. Most of the year, it's been packed clear to the back and the full length here. Over here, we put our school supplies, and then when we get time or have a special group come in, we package back the backpacks. And here we've got like nurses' scrubs. When we get enough, we do a box of that. Over here, we have a gal that does shoes. She pretty much does all the shoes. And my husband does belts and purses. We normally have regular work on Tuesday mornings. And so we bring the bags from there into this area. And the long tables, we have people working along here. They take the bags, take the stuff out, sort it. If it's dirty or have holes in it or whatever, it either goes in the garbage, or if it's not too bad a shape, these big bags here we put in there and we take that stuff to Goodwill. And so then they sort the stuff out of the bags. As you can see by the labels on the wall, that's where the clothes go into the combos. And then somebody else that's working will take the stuff out of the combos and pack it into these boxes here. And then we have a label station over there. We have we have labels here for the different boxes that we ship, and those go on there. And then we stack them over here, and towards the end of the morning, we generally then move them out into the warehouse. Okay. And we have to put a number on every box. We have to inventory whether it's women's summer tops, bottoms, winter tops, bottoms, shoes, accessories, coats, and the same for men's stuff, and the same for children's.
This pile here is children's stuff. We usually have from probably right there, this double line clear full, and back over there is the quilts and blankets that go out. And over on that area is all women's stuff, which right now there's almost 1,000 boxes in there right now. And the little pile in the middle there is assorted, well, accessories, what we call it. And it is like belts, caps, gloves, scarves, and just odd things that you wouldn't pack in the other ones. And this is all men's apparel, all the shoes that women's shoes and men's shoes. But if we get children's shoes in here, we put them right in here with the children's stuff. And we have 2 people out here when we do this. We have one man back there packing back in the back end. Then we have a lady here that pushes the stuff out. So we really have quite a group going here.
This is materials that we get in here for mercy kits or hygiene kits, whatever you want to call them, and towels and everything. And then as we have time and the weather permits, because there's no heat up here, we make and pack mercy kits. These over here that are covered up on the wall, these boxes are already mercy kits that can go at any time here in the United States, or right close if there's some type of disaster. Over here, we have sorted new and used men's, women's, and children's underwear and socks. And then over there, all that stuff over there is pretty much things that we will sort and get either to the soup kitchen, to the Beacon of Hope Men's Shelter, or to Sister Dina. In the back on the table, there are some plastic dishes and glasses, and there's some silverware and pots and pans. That stuff we usually take to Norfolk, and they ship it with the Mercy meals, because a lot of times when they get the Mercy meals, they don't have anything to fix it in or to eat it out of. And so that's where that goes. We also get stuffed animals, and we kind of put those back on that wall, and if we get enough, we ship them. We have some people that will take some of the larger ones, and they take them to VFW, I believe it is, in Alta, and they have them cleaned, and they take them to hospitals to give to kids while they're in the hospital. So, but this is, in the wintertime, we can't work up here. It's too cold, so this kind of sits for the winter. We do men's and women's and children's clothing. We can always use more children's clothing. There's, well, I think kids wear them more or hand them down, and so we don't get as many children's clothing. New underwear and socks. We do take used underwear and socks and bras if they're in good shape. We throw a lot of them away, and some that are questionable are sorted, and some are taken to New Hope Village in Carroll to their thrift shop that they can resell. Bedding, we can use sheets, pillowcases, blankets. We don't want pillows. We don't use mattress covers or skirts or shams. Those things we have no use for. We don't take pillows. We do get stuff in our trailer, household items. We just have to haul those to Goodwill or throw them away. So that just makes more work for us. So that kind of stuff we don't want either. We take school supplies to do backpacks, and we do items for Mercy kits or hygiene kits, whatever you want to call them. Number of boxes. And then that doesn't give us a total count, because we don't ship anything that's red, white, and blue, anything that has Christian emblems on it, or that's khaki. The red, white, and blue countries, a lot of Eastern European countries that we ship to, they aren't real friendly to the United States per se. Christian, there's a lot of Muslims. Somebody wearing Christian could target them for harassment or murder. And khaki stuff, they might think they're part of the military. And so that's why we don't ship those three things. However, we have an outlet for that stuff. We take things to the Beacon of Hope Men's Shelter in Fort Dodge. Now we have the Siouxland Soup Kitchen that we're taking clothes to, and we also are connected now with the St. Augustine Indian Mission in Winnebago, Nebraska, and they come a couple times a year and get clothes and things. Well, it's here. People can bring stuff and put it in there during the week when there's nobody here, or we use it to. Well, when we go to LWML convention, or we've taken it to different LWML zone rallies, that people can bring stuff and we put it in there and then bring it back here. Things that we get that we can't ship from here or normally don't ship, we take to Norfolk, and they have an outlet for it. We use banana boxes to pack our bedding and blankets and quilts, because we can get more into a banana box. This comes in a banana box, and we cut this in thirds. We don't use the middle part that has all the holes in it. Then we use one part in the bottom of the box to cover the hole and one part to fill the top of the box. When they were here the last time, there was a gentleman that his wife comes all the time, but his health doesn't allow him to do it, and he sat here and he cut those papers apart for us, and it was something that he could sit here and do and feel like he was contributing. And we don't expect anybody to do anything they aren't capable of, or don't feel that they're capable of doing either. We have a gentleman that comes that was 101 in August. He's our poster boy for volunteers. Don't tell me you're too old. Yes. They can, if they're bringing stuff and want to stay on a Tuesday morning, that's fine. If there's a group that would like to come from a church, we can arrange another time for them to come. We'd work on Tuesday and leave, and it didn't appear like we'd even made a dent in it. And then we also had gotten, at the end of last year, a whole semi-load of material. There were 26 pallets of brand new sports equipment, shirts, jackets, sweatshirts, pants, all that kind of thing. One of the gals that comes here on a regular basis started taking some of those boxes back to Anthem, and she had her Bible study group, and then she got people from the community involved, and they took labels off of stuff, sorted it, packed it, and brought it back here, and then all we had to do is put the label on it, and they did probably 20 pallets this summer. They just finished last week on that stuff. With our inventory that we do every week, and then I have to do a monthly inventory to Norfolk, and so they have a list of that inventory too. And when we get around 1,400 to 1,500 boxes, we know we're getting close to enough boxes for a shipment. And so then I contact Chris or Karen and say, okay, you need to find someplace for our stuff to go. We're limited in where we can ship our things because we don't have enough space to sort out keep the summer and the winter things separate. And so most of our shipments have to go someplace that have weather similar to ours because it's a mixed shipment every time. Any shipments that go overseas, Norfolk arranges a container for us, a 40-foot container. It usually comes out of Omaha or Kansas City. They bring it here. We're supposed to have 2 hours to get it loaded. It usually takes us about 2.5 hours to load it. We put the word out around the adjoining zones and always get enough volunteers on that day to load that container. And then the container usually goes from here either to Omaha or to Kansas City, is put on a train, and the shipment in July went to Chicago, and the shipment that we did in October went to New York. And those two shipments were both going to the Republic of Georgia, but they were going to different agencies. When they got to those points, the container is opened and they fumigate it and then reseal it. And then it's put on a ship and shipped to the port of wherever it's going. Our shipments here usually run from $5,000 to $6,000 a shipment. Some shipments that have been shipped out of Norfolk have been as much as $19,000, depending on where it's going and how many countries it goes through. And in September, they had 2 containers that had been sitting in ports in different countries for 2 months and hadn't cleared customs yet. So, and then it's charged for sitting there, and then there's tariffs from the different countries it goes through, and that's what establishes the cost of the shipping. If you want to donate money strictly to Iowa West Branch of Orphan Grain Train, you should send it to us at Orphan Grain Train, Post Office Box 152, Early, Iowa 50535. Or if you send it to Norfolk, then they just have to turn around and send a check to us. The love of our Savior. It's well, for myself personally, after I retired, I made a trip down to Mission Central one day and stopped here to leave some things off and stayed and worked a while. And I've been coming ever since. And when Elroy Cook became ill and Barb said, we can't manage it anymore, somebody said, Sharon needs to do it. I was, whoa, I got to think and pray about this for a while. But it became apparent through devotions and through prayer that this is what the Lord wanted me to be doing now. And I feel like He was preparing me for this job for 60 years.